Wondering why rent is up, credit cards hurt more, and your paycheck just doesn't quite stretch as far? It might all come down to one thing: interest rates. Let's break it down. Welcome back to Macro Minute, where we break down the big economic concepts and ideas that shape your money and our everyday life. My name is Quentin Guliford. Today we're going to break down something that affects nearly every single thing you try and do with money, even if you've never really thought about it before. And that's interest rates. Think of interest rates like the price of money. If you borrow money like on a mortgage, a car loan, or a credit card, we all know we pay interest on those things. Furthermore, if you save money in the bank, your own money in the bank pays you interest. So when the Federal Reserve decides to raise or lower rates, they're changing the cost of money across the entire economy. When the economy is growing too fast and prices start rising too quickly, the Fed responds by raising rates to slow things down a little bit. When the economy is slowing or is perceived to be in trouble, they lower rates to make borrowing easier, allowing people and businesses to spend more. And so here are 4 ways that shifts and fluctuations in interest rates could impact you. First off, your mortgage or rent may rise when rates go up because it costs more to borrow, to build, or buy homes. Secondly, credit card debt may feel heavier because interest adds up faster. Thirdly, groceries may even be impacted as businesses pass on higher borrowing costs to you. And then finally, on the flip side, a more positive side, higher interest rates might help your savings grow a little bit faster if you keep your money in a high yield account. And okay, if you're still not following me, here's an example to help us make sense of this whole interest rates thing. Let's say, for example, you have a car loan. A lot of us have car loans. I have a car loan. I just got a car at the end of last year. And so let's say on my car loan that my interest rate, not just my interest rate, the interest rate of, like we said earlier, the whole economy, right? That's what we're talking about here. Let's say that interest rates go from 4% to 7%. Now, what does that mean? That means that for the same car, I didn't switch my car, I didn't get a new one. For the same car, it's going to cost me more over time because the interest rate on my car loan is increasing. And for you renters out there, let's apply it to you. Regardless of where you're renting, what kind of place you're renting, there is an owner of the place that you're renting. And if your landlord just so happens to have a loan on the property, which most do, if interest rates rise, mortgages are going to rise, thus making your rent a little bit more expensive. But I really don't want to sound super negative and act like this is the worst thing in the world. This is something that everybody has had to deal with, everybody gets to deal with, and nobody is affected more or less by this interest rates thing. We're in this together. So what can we do to make it not hurt as bad? There are a few strategic things we can do with our money to make fluctuations in interest rates not hurt as bad in our personal financial lives. If you're carrying debt, and I'm going to get to why this will be important in my last point here, but if you're carrying debt, regardless, work as hard as you can to pay that debt off before interest rates rise. Furthermore, remember I mentioned if you're using a high yield savings account, increases in interest rates will be good for you in that case. And so that's in the name of diversification, if you want to say. Putting money into a high yield savings account doesn't sound like a bad idea. And then lastly, and this is probably the most important thing we can do, is just to follow and keep an eye out on headlines in regards to the Federal Reserve. Like we've made so clear, these changes in interest rates can signal when big major shifts are coming to the housing market, the car market, the job market, and the economy overall. Guys, interest rates aren't just for economists or people who are just fascinated with macroeconomics like me and Marcus. They shape how you borrow, save, and spend every single day of your life. My name is Quentin Guliford, and with this Macro Minute series here, my goal is to break down esoteric economic nomenclature and simplify macroeconomic concepts for everybody. If in this video I helped you understand interest rates at all, shoot us a like and think about subscribing to our channel to gain more insight, analysis, and understanding when it comes to trading, macro, and how geopolitics impact the markets that we trade. Thank you for watching this edition of Macro Minute. I will see you in the next one.